Hey, brothers and sisters. Hang on, let me see something here. That's better. Want to let you guys know I really appreciate your prayers. My son Abraham is doing a lot better. He was very, very sick. In fact, they had a Life Flight helicopter waiting to take him that night because he might have. They said if he waited one more day, he would have died. His gallbladder got infected, and so we kept going to the hospital. We went to the hospital up here 3 times and to the clinic. And they kept telling me he was just had a cold, and inside of him it had rotted away where they couldn't even. They tried for 45 minutes to do it orthoscopically, and they finally had to cut him open and reach in there, and she had to scrape his gallbladder out by hand. This is like major bad. And so he's been fighting an infection. He's quite a bit better. He's been in there for 7 days now. The Lord had given me a warning dream about this, but I didn't understand what God was talking about. And I'll talk to you guys a little bit more in depth. But I just want to let you know, thank you very much for your prayers. I appreciate Brother Patrick, the Pastor Patrick, for asking for prayer, and for my very good and dear friend Mark Murchison for also putting up that video. I really appreciate that, and all you guys that prayed for my son. And I want to tell you one real quick story. We know that all things work together for good for those that love the Lord. My son's been really struggling because the Lord hasn't came, and he believes in the rapture, and he has a form of autism called Asperger's, and he really thought the Lord was coming back in 2011, and he hasn't, and so he's just been getting a little bit further and further from the Lord, and just having a very hard time, like a lot of Christians are. But his wife called me. That I've been telling him, you got to get to the doctor. We kept trying to get him to go. He would not go. He kept telling me, Dad, they're going to cut me open. I just know it. And so anyway, the way it transpired was on Friday, a week ago, he Skyped me and told me, Dad, we can't call you because the phone is broke, and Amy needs her pain meds, so you're going to have to do something and everything. And so I called, and through a process, I found out that she'd paid one payment, then didn't pay the next, and paid one payment, didn't pay the next. Got a balance of like $73, and so they turned their phones off. So I was upset. I'm like, oh, Amy, you pay us your phone bill, and then the pain med thing was like an emergency. It was Friday. The pharmacy's closed on Saturday, and all this stuff. So I go over there, and I wanted to chew people out, and because like Sergeant Slaughter here. But anyway, I go over there, and his roof had a leak on it, and so I had to fix that. It took me like 35-40 minutes. I did that, and I fixed the phone thing. We called, paid the bill, and then I came back in the house, and he's laying in a ball on his bed, and oh, my stomach. I looked at him, he looked bad, and I'm like, come on, you're going now. And I told his wife, get him up, we're going. So we come down, and we weren't going to go to the clinic or the hospital. I was going to take him down to Bakersfield, which is a 55-mile or so drive. We're going to go to the urgent care down there. And my wife comes out, and she's like, look at his lips. I said, I know. I tried to get him to drink some water. I think he's dehydrated. And she says, his lips are blue too. I'm calling an ambulance. So we called the ambulance, and we told them we want them to take him to Bakersfield. They wouldn't do it. They took him to this same crummy hospital up here, and they kept him from I think it was like 1 o'clock all the way till night. And they finally found, he's got a really bad infection. They were giving him heavy duty antibiotics. Said his gallbladder may be bigger than what it's supposed to be. And that's all they said. And we'll ship him out tomorrow or tonight. But then they never did get to it. It was all the way to the next day. And we get to the hospital in Bakersfield, Memorial Hospital. And he's like really sick. And it took them like a day or so to get going. And then they ended up doing surgery on him that night. And because we got him here at Saturday. So Saturday evening, I think it was, when they did surgery on him. And they're like, man, this is bad. It was all black in there and gangrene, and it ate into his liver and everything because he'd waited so long. And they're like, how could he even be walking around like this, And so if his wife had not missed those payments, I wouldn't have went over there that day, and the next day my son would be dead. So remember that when you're praying and when you're dealing with life, that sometimes somebody's going slow in front of you on the road, and you're, I got to get past them because I got to get somewhere, and it's really God saving you from a car accident or whatever else, or saving somebody else's life. We don't know what's going on. So I want to thank you guys for praying for my son. He's doing a lot better. He's starting to walk a little bit even. So we're hoping he can come home tomorrow or Sunday or maybe Monday. I don't know. Got to get his pain under control. He's one of those guys that can't take. They have a drug called Dilaudid, and Dilaudid is 7 times more powerful than morphine. Does nothing but make him sleepy, sick to his stomach, doesn't kill the pain. And it took days and days, and finally they give him this other stuff, Toradol, and that